Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to crochet this cute egg-topus. So he just looks like a little egg and an octopus, but the cool thing is he's not stuffed, so you can push his tentacles inside and you just push them one by one until you get them all in. And once you get them all in, he transforms into an Easter egg. Last one isn't wanting to go. There we go. So now, just looks like a little Easter egg. He has eyes on this side. Cute little egg. But he transforms into an octopus. There we go. If you want to follow along with the written pattern, I have it available for free on Ribblr, and it's also going to be for free on my Instagram. I haven't released it yet, but if it is released by the time I post this, I'll link it in the description as well. And then if you prefer a PDF that you can print, I also have that available on, Etsy soon. So those will be linked below if you want to follow along, but I'll walk you through each step of it. The materials that you'll need will be a crochet hook, stitch marker, yarn needle, scissors, and polyfill. And then for the yarn, you can use whatever colors you want. I like to use different springy colors, so I've got this pink, blue, and this light pink that I'm going to use today. I accidentally said you need polyfill, but you actually do not need polyfill for this. We do not stuff this pattern. And then you'll also need just a tiny bit of black yarn to embroider the eyes. So we'll go ahead and start with the main color you're going to use. I'm going to use this purple color. First thing we're going to do is make a magic ring. And then we're going to crochet 6 single crochets into the magic ring. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And you can pull this closed. Alright. For round 2, we're going to do single crochet and then increase. Single crochet. I like to put the stitch marker in the first stitch of the round. Increase. Then a single crochet. And then increase. Single crochet. And an increase. For round 3, we're going to do 2 single crochet and then an increase. So there's 1, 2, increase, 1, 2, increase, 1, 2, and increase. For round 4, we're going to do single crochet and then increase. Single, increase, single, increase, all the way around. Before we start round 5, we're going to change colors. So in the last stitch, before you pull through the last one, we're going to grab our second color. I'm going to use blue. And whenever you're changing your yarn in this pattern, you want to leave enough of a tail that we can weave it in later. All right. Once we change colors, we're just going to single crochet all the way around. So just one single crochet into each stitch. Once you get a few stitches done, you can go ahead and tie this together just to secure that color change. You don't have to cut the other color yet because we will switch back to it, but I just like to tie it to make sure it's secure. Whenever you get to the last stitch, we're going to change colors again, so don't pull through that last loop. We're going to change to our third color. So I'm going to use pink. Alright, so we're going to change to our third color in the same way. Make sure to leave a bit of tail to weave in. And then we're just going to single crochet all the way around. Same thing as the last row. So go ahead and crochet all the way around until you get to that last stitch. Alright, once you get to that last stitch, we're going to do the same thing. Don't finish that stitch off. We're going to change back to the second color. So the blue. Alright. And for this round, it's going to be the same thing. Just single crochet all the way around. Alright, when you get to that last stitch, we're going to color change again, but we're going to change back to our first color. So for me, that's the purple. And this row is going to be the same thing. Just single crochet all the way around till you get back to your stitch marker. Alright, now that we're at the end of that round, we're done with our color changes, so we can go ahead and cut these other yarns, and we want to weave in the ends. So I'm cutting mine about that long so that there's enough to weave in. So the reason that we really want to weave them in this project is because the tentacles are going to go inside the body. So whenever you go to pull the tentacles out, you don't want to accidentally be like pulling these and get it snagged. So we want to weave in all these ends, so you can just use your yarn needle. Sometimes it helps if you want to flip it inside out. It's a lot easier to weave it in. And really, it doesn't matter how pretty it looks because nobody's going to see the inside of it. So I really just weave it in however I want. Not a big deal. Nobody's going to see this side. So you can just go across one way. And then I like to take it back across again through the same stitches. That through. Make sure you're not getting it real tight, like it's not scrunching up your work. But once you've got them weaved in, you can trim the excess. So we'll just go ahead and weave in all of these ends the same way. Really just going through the back of the stitches on these. If you don't have enough to go back the other way, it's okay. Once you get all the ends woven in, it should look something like this, and we'll go ahead and turn it back to the right way. Get our hook, and then we'll go ahead and move to the next round. For round 9, we're going to do single crochet and then a decrease, and we're just going to repeat that all the way around. Single, and then a decrease, single, and then a decrease, and just repeat that all the way around. For round 10, we're going to do single crochet and then a decrease again. Single, decrease, and repeat that all the way around. At the end of this row, you should have 8 stitches because there's going to be 8 tentacles. But before we do the tentacles, we're going to go ahead and embroider the eyes. So we're going to need the black yarn. So where the stitch marker is, I always put that at the back just because there's a little jog right here in the yarn. So that's the back, and then this side we'll put the eyes over here. So for the eyes, you'll get your black yarn, put it through your needle, and then the eyes are going to go on to round 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I might put them on 7. And we'll go ahead and embroider them. I'll go in right here. They're going to be about 3 or 4 stitches apart. So just decide where you want it. And I like to go over 1 stitch of the round, come back out at the same spot, and do that, the same thing in the same spot 2 or 3 times to make the eye look a little bit bigger and a little rounder. There's the 3rd time. So there's one eye. Then I'm going to go over 3 or 4 stitches and do the same thing. Probably go 4 stitches. Go over the stitch once, twice, and there's the 3rd one. Then I'll go ahead and take the string back through to the same spot, and then I'm going to tie these together. I'll tie them pretty tight, and then we're going to want to weave in these ends so that it doesn't get caught on the tentacles. So there's the eyes. Now you could also use felt eyes if you want. I wouldn't use safety eyes because the backing might snag the tentacles, but felt eyes would be great for this. So for the tentacles, we're going to slip stitch into the front loop only. So here we have 2 loops, and you're just going to go into the front one only. Slip stitch. Then we're going to chain 5. Then into the second chain from the hook, we're going to do 2 single crochets. And we're going to do that into the next 3 stitches as well. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 stitches total. Then we're going to slip stitch into the front loop only of the next and do the same thing. Chain 5, 3, 4, 5. Increase in the second chain from the hook. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Slip stitch into the next one, and then you just repeat that all the way around until you have 8 tentacles. Once you've got all 8 legs done, then you're going to go ahead and slip stitch back into that the base of that first leg. Slip stitch, and then we'll go ahead and fasten off. Again, make sure you leave enough to weave in the tail. All right. You can go ahead and weave in the tail now. Now, I am kind of weaving this in different than I normally would because we're not stuffing this pattern. But what I like to do is bring this tail up to where this tail from the beginning is. Now you could weave them in individually, but what I like to do is just bring them together and tie them in a knot, just to make sure there's no chance that this is gonna come apart. And then I'll go ahead and weave in these ends as you normally would. Push that knot through to the other side and just weave them in. So now we've finished the Egg-topus. So to turn him into an egg, you just take his tentacles and push them right inside his body. I like to do it just one at a time. If you try to do more than one at a time, sometimes it's not as easy. All right, now we've got him tucked in, and you can kind of just shape him, pull it back out a little if you need more. And now he's a little egg. Super cute. It's just an egg on this side. He's got the eyes over here, and then he transitions into the octopus. Being more difficult than usual today. There we go. Super cute.